Hello there, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now, when it comes to building a timeless and versatile wardrobe, it can actually be quite tempting to go cheap on a number of items in your wardrobe. I know what it's like, all right? When you're starting out, you're always thinking, how can I look good on as little money as possible? And then you start budgeting, you start buying items from supermarkets, you start buying items from budget retailers. Let me tell you, from personal experience gained over decades of starting my journey buying cheap and then eventually moving up the sartorial ladder, it never pays off well for you if you buy cheap. It simply doesn't work. Tempting as it may be, it's always better to invest in quality when you've got the opportunity, particularly in the items I'm going to talk about today. Now, whilst you can go cheap in some areas, some items it's just not going to work. You're going to damage your appearance, you're going to damage your self-confidence if you do so. So, the items I'm going to talk about today are the non-negotiable ones in which quality counts. So, let me tell you where you've got to put that money. So, first of all, it's the obvious one. It is a tailored suit, all right? It is the star of the sartorial show, and a suit in a practical colour will be the cornerstone of the sophisticated wardrobe of any intentionally well-dressed man, whether it's for professional situations or those formal situations in your life, you know, like the weddings, the christenings, the court appearances, whatever it may be. There's always going to be a time that you need a suit which fits you well, because a well-fitting suit will exude class, quality, and for you as the wearer, it will provide confidence and self-esteem. Have you ever heard of somebody say to you, you look $1 million in that outfit? And how does it feel when people tell you that? It makes you feel like $1 million. And that boosts your confidence, makes you feel, great about your appearance. You know you can overcome any challenge when you look sharp and smart, because your appearance is demonstrating to the world something about you. Also, when you invest in a quality suit made of good quality natural materials like cashmere, like wool, or blends thereof, it's going to last longer. It's going to look good when you're wearing it. And that durability is important, because when you put big money into an outfit, you want it to last year after year. And of course, if you buy a good quality suit, it can be tailored. So in the years ahead, maybe life has been good to you, you expand somewhat bodily, you can have the garment tailored. If you've spent just a few pounds on a polyester suit from a local budget retailer, it's simply not worth having repaired or altered to fit you better, and you're going to end up throwing it away. It's going to look shiny in no time at all. It's not going to work. Without the quality, it's just not going to be worthy of you wearing. So when it comes to a suit, do not go cheap. Now, following on from the suit, and this is kind of an obvious one as well, your footwear is an area where you need to put your money. I often say to people, invest as much in your shoes as you can reasonably afford, because you're going to be spending a lot of time in them. Your shoes, well, they're going to carry you around. They're going to make the difference between being comfortable and miserable. It's such an important thing, and your choice of shoes can make or break an outfit that you're wearing. A cheap pair of shoes can totally bring down the look of the clothing that you're wearing, but a quality pair of fine shoes can elevate your outfit beyond any measure of their financial cost, because they just have that power to reflect positivity throughout the clothing that you're wearing. Now, when you're buying shoes, always go for the best quality leather that you can. Top grain leather, all of these full grain leathers, they're going to last longer, they're going to look better, and durability is the key, because good quality leather shoes actually look better the longer that you own them. Good quality leather, when treated properly with polishes and shoe creams, will take on a natural change in its patina over the years. Many people absolutely treasure that beautiful patina which comes on, particularly in brown. Obviously black isn't going to change much, it's always going to look black, but the browns and the burgundies, they take on these beautiful richness of colour with the passing of years. And if you're investing in good quality leather shoes, always go for something which is Goodyear welted at the very least. Goodyear welting means the way that the leather upper is stitched to the sole, because the beauty of Goodyear welting is when the sole wears out, as they invariably do, you can have them replaced. So your shoes can go on to have decades of service within your wardrobe. I've got shoes which I worked out the other day are over 30 years old, and they're nowhere near coming to the end of their working life with me. So buying a good pair of shoes, well, it simply works. What should you buy? Well, the traditional classic and timeless styles. Oxford shoes tend to be quite stylish, very business formal, can be worn in many situations, with a cap toe, with broguing, with semi-broguing. Classic, elegant. They've been around in that style since, you know, the 20th century, and they're going to be worn by men into the 22nd and 23rd century. So invest well. Pick a nice brown colour, because it'll go on a nice patination journey with you as the years go by. Or if you want a pair of shoes for those smartest or formal of occasions, black, never go wrong, but make sure you use polish and look after them well. Now my next suggestion for an item that you should not go cheap on is your winter coat, because let's be honest, you know, if you live in a country like mine, it's cold enough to wear an overcoat for about 4 months of the year, and that's a long time to be cold and chilly unless you choose the right garment. Now a classic, timeless and elegant overcoat is going to be the defining outer garment that many people first see when they meet you in the winter months. So it's worth choosing something which is classy and it's elegant. Investing in a high quality coat will offer not only great warmth but also style, and it's an essential item of your wardrobe. Now choose materials which are natural, because they last longer, they look better than these nylon blends, which, although they may be a little more water resistant, they simply don't have the panache that we look for in a classic and elegant overcoat. Choose cashmere, merino, wool, or blends of those, because they tend to look better. They also allow perspiration to evaporate if you get a little bit warm, and they look great. They're less prone to wear and tear over the long run as well. They don't get shiny. They don't, just have that awful worn out look that natural materials do over time. Now, the other beauty of having a good quality overcoat is that you can also have them repaired, have them looked after as the years go by. Classic styles like pea coats and Ulster style overcoats are always going to pay off for you, because they look as good today as they looked 60 or 70 years ago, and they're equally going to look so good in 60 or 70 years in the future. They're going to be in your wardrobe for decades, so choose well. Choose a good serviceable neutral colour like charcoal grey or navy, and you can't go wrong. It's going to be a winner for you. Now the fourth item I'm going to suggest that you shouldn't go cheap on is actually not one item, it's leather accessories. It's a number of things which are included in your ensemble of clothing. It's things like your belt, your watch strap, your briefcase. All of these things, if you go down the quality leather route, they're going to look so much better over the passing of time. Yes, they're going to be a lot more expensive to buy than those vinyl pleather items which people can choose, but they are able to add a touch of class which is far beyond their financial cost over the course of decades. Because don't forget, a nice leather briefcase, it can last you a lifetime if you look after it. Condition it once or twice a year, make sure it's always, in good condition, and it is going to go on a journey with you. Because just like your shoes, say a brown leather briefcase will acquire a unique patination as the years pass by and look better and better. The same goes for your belt. The same goes for all of the other leather accessories that you have. A well-crafted leather item can be with you on your whole life journey. So it's definitely not worth going cheap on. Now the next item I suggest is worth paying out a little bit more of the pocket money for is your dress shirt. It is so easy to think, I'll save a bit of money on the dress shirt. You only see a little bit around, the chest area and maybe a little bit protruding from the cuff. I can go cheap on it. Don't be tempted to do that. A collection of high quality dress shirts in just a few practical colours like white, light blue and maybe pink are all you need to add that touch of class to your outfit. Investing in shirts made of good quality fabrics in a comfortable fit give you that polished appearance which you always can tell when somebody has put a little bit more effort in their outfit. Remember to pay attention to the small details such as the buttons and the stitching. Makes all the difference. You'll notice the difference between a good shirt, good quality, and something which is inferior, maybe made in a factory setting on the other side of the world to a very low price point. When you start looking for these things, you'll notice the difference. And you don't want to be the person caught out wearing the $10 shirt. Don't forget, you don't have to break the bank. Most of my shirts I get from eBay, from high quality, high-end, elite shirt manufacturers. But they're not necessarily brand new. They can last for decades if you look after them. So just because your budget is small doesn't mean to say your aspirations for your outfit have to be small too. So don't go cheap on the shirt thinking you can save a few pounds or a few dollars. Now, the next sort of body of items which I suggest are worth putting a little bit more money into is your knitwear. Believe me, I've been on this journey. Years ago, I used to wear cheap acrylic jumpers, sweaters and so on. No, I wouldn't go anywhere near them because, whether it's a chunky roll neck or a fine merino sweater, V-neck sweater, there's nothing more enjoyable than slipping on a beautiful, natural materialed, lovely sweater in the cooler months, feeling that corseting embrace of that wool against your skin, knowing you're going to be insulated and warmed against the cold weather. There's nothing like it. Cashmere, merino, lamb's wool, these are the materials to go for. Remember, wool has the unique quality of also retaining its warmth-giving element even when it is wet. This is why adventurers on their journeys to the Antarctic years ago used to wear big, thick, chunky woolen sweaters, and they still do today. Synthetic materials simply can't provide that natural perfection that the wools and their various different types of wools do. Now avoid synthetic materials, things made of nylon and acrylics and wools. They just don't perform the same, they don't look the same, they tend to give off lots of fluff. It's just not worth saving the dollars on the cheap knitwear. Invest once, invest well, and you'll be laughing for the future. Now the final items which I suggest that you consider putting a bit more of an investment into is your outerwear jackets, because whereas your showpiece overcoat is going to cover you perhaps for the more formal situations in life, you want those more casual jackets for your day-to-day activities, and a well-made outer jacket is going to be perfect for situations like that, whether it's a denim jacket, whether it's a Harrington jacket, some sort of bomber jacket, blouson, whatever is your choice, whatever fits in with your lifestyle. It's well worth spending a little more on those durable materials and quality craftsmanship that will make your outerwear stand out from the crowd and withstand the years and years of wear that you're going to encounter with them. They're going to effortlessly stride the decades if you buy a nice leather jacket, because again, like all the other leather we've talked about, it will acquire a patina and look better with the passing of time. So don't be tempted to go cheap on the casual items. Now in conclusion, what I would say to you is it is very tempting to cut corners when you're building your wardrobe of clothing, because who wants to spend £300 on a Harrington jacket? That's what they cost. They're not cheap items. Leather jackets can be anywhere upwards of £500. A Barber jacket, few hundreds of pounds. But remember, You're only paying for that jacket once if you buy quality, and it will last you for a long time. Whereas if you buy an inexpensive item, you're probably going to wear it for a season, maybe two, and throw it away. You're going to have to buy another one. So think about your long-term investment as a lifetime purchase rather than something just the here and now. And remember, you don't have to buy everything brand new. Half of my wardrobe I have bought pre-owned, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's going to last me my lifetime, and I'll pass it on to somebody else or my son when the time is right. Just because we have a limited budget doesn't mean to say we have a limited outlook on our wardrobe either. We just have to be a little bit more practical in the way that we source our items. So there we go. I hope you have enjoyed this video on the items that I think you shouldn't go cheap on if you intend to be an intentionally well-dressed man. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like this, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to pass a comment, leave it in the comment section below or drop me an email. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can either buy me a coffee or become a patron. I produce additional video content for my patrons, and I have a totally different dialogue going on the patron channel with the chaps who are also now part of the Chaps Guide family. And if you want to find out how to get in on that act, go to the show notes below where you will find all the links you need. So until the next time, don't go cheap, look good, and I'll see you again very soon.